Let's face it, many supplements being sold, especially online, don't contain the amount of the ingredients listed on the label. Forget about quality for a moment, they don't even have the dosage they claim. But some less scrupulous manufacturers will use some of the branded material, but fill the rest of the capsule with a cheap, generic material. Sometimes the owner of a branded ingredient will buy products that have their ingredient listed and test it independently. Surveys indicate that the majority of supplement users are willing to pay for this quality upgrade. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the NatureCity podcast. I'm your host, Pradelli. I'm also the CEO and co-founder of the company, having started NatureCity over 20 years ago with my wife, Beth, and since then it's been our privilege to have served over 500,000 Americans by offering them the best supplements we can make. On the podcast, I try to give you information that hopefully you find valuable on supplement ingredients. One of my other goals is to show you how to find and choose high-quality supplements even if it's not from NatureCity. We're not the only good supplement brand. Actually, there's a lot of them, but your challenge is there's many more bad brands out there selling poor quality or outright fraudulent products that I would never take, and I don't want you to either. So in upcoming episodes, I'm going to give you some tips on how to best protect yourself from making a mistake and wasting your money. So today is tip number 1, which is you should seek out supplements made with branded ingredients, not generic ingredients. Branded ingredients matter for getting you the results you want and for safety reasons, as well as helping to protect you from fraud, all of which we'll discuss. In the supplement world, a branded ingredient is an ingredient that is trademarked and sold under a specific brand name versus a generic raw material. Many of these ingredients are also patented and have unique features or benefits that make them superior to generics. Usually, you can see these brands visibly displayed on supplement labels and product websites. For example, here's a new hair and skin product we have. This product actually has 10 branded ingredients. You could see the logos listed here. And also in the supplement facts panel, the ingredients that were also listed, you'll see the brand names for each ingredient. A couple of examples of the over 200 branded ingredients we use at NatureCity are the suntheanine brand of the amino acid L-theanine that's in our TrueHNS sleep formula, and the MiniQ7 brand of vitamin K2 that's in several products. Both ingredients offer consistent premium quality and are backed by numerous placebo-controlled research studies demonstrating specific health benefits that you may experience by taking them. That's a good segue into the benefits of using branded ingredients. For us, it starts with science and the fact that good branded ingredients have been the subject of multiple human clinical studies that validate the ingredient's health effects, the dosage needed to achieve benefits, and help identify any potential side effects or safety cautions from taking the ingredient. You don't get this with generic ingredients, which rarely are backed by research. Any claims marketers of generics are making is usually based on science that they borrow from branded ingredients. But although generics may look and sound the same, they're usually not exactly the same, and often quality varies, unlike branded ingredients, which usually offer consistent quality from batch to batch. By quality, we mean 2 things. 1, consistent potency of key nutritional compounds, and 2, consistent purity control, which protects you from undesirable levels of heavy metals, microbes, and other contaminants. And here's the thing. The makers of branded ingredients do this as much for themselves as for you because they're protecting the brand that they invested in a lot to get to market. As you may know, clinical studies with humans are very expensive, typically running into $6 or $7 figures. Because of the high cost, the companies investing in these studies generally use the highest quality ingredients to give them the best chance of good results, and then they protect that investment to ensure that you're getting the same quality bottle after bottle. This benefits you as the product user of the branded ingredients, but again, usually you don't have this assurance with ingredients where the makers are essentially anonymous without a consumer brand to protect. The last benefit of branded ingredients I want to discuss is related to this and helps protect consumers from a significant issue, which is fraudulent supplements. Let's face it, many supplements being sold, especially online, don't contain the amount of the ingredients listed on the label. Forget about quality for a moment, they don't even have the dosage they claim. If a supplement is fraudulent, counterfeit, or subpar in any way, it can affect not only the reputation of the supplement brand, but the branded ingredient partner too, whose name and logo are also on the label. As a result, branded ingredient suppliers are very vigilant about making sure their ingredient is really in the product in the amount stated on the label. Sometimes the owner of a branded ingredient will buy products that have their ingredient listed and test it independently to make sure the ingredient is both present in the product and it's the right amount. Something else they'll do to make sure there's no funny stuff going on is confirm with us that our manufacturer is buying the correct amount of the ingredient to make the number of bottles we need. So the branded ingredient company will contact me and say, hey, your manufacturer, which is a great company called VitaQuest, just placed an order with us. How many bottles are you making? And I'll say 5,000 bottles. How much raw material did they order? And we'll go through the math and see if it makes sense. If they only bought enough material to make 1,000 bottles instead of 5,000 bottles, well, that's a red flag. We've never had this happen with VitaQuest, but some less scrupulous manufacturers will use some of the branded material, but fill the rest of the capsule with a cheap generic material. This is another way fraud happens in the industry. And like us, the branded ingredient company wants to protect against this happening. So without you or other consumers knowing it, there's this cross-checking being done behind the scenes with the makers of branded ingredients that helps protect you from being ripped off by bad actors committing fraud. Now, another important point to make, just because an ingredient has a trademark and a brand name doesn't automatically make it a good ingredient or something NatureCity will use. There's a lot more to it, including having a good quality library of research support, but also how the ingredient is made, sustainability, and numerous other factors. We're very disciplined and selective about what we use in our products, and usually this assessment happens over a long period of time. Now, you may be thinking, what's the downside of branded ingredients? We have all these pros, there has to be a con. Well, the branded ingredients do cost more than generic ingredients, but for all the reasons discussed today, surveys indicate that the majority of supplement users are willing to pay for this quality upgrade. And this percentage of supplement users continues to grow as folks like you become more knowledgeable about supplements and what they put in their body. This is music to our ears at NatureCity because we've been banging this drum for many years. And if you look at our products, you'll see only branded ingredients. The only other con of branded ingredients is more of an issue for me and my team, which is it takes a lot more effort to manage inventory. Generic ingredients have multiple vendors and they're easy to find. With branded ingredients, you have one source. So if they have a problem, we have a problem. So we work very closely with our ingredient partners to minimize out of stocks, but occasionally stuff happens and items end up on back order. The one thing we've always promised our clients is we will never trade down or make an inferior product. It's better to wait and get the ingredient you deserve, and most clients appreciate this approach. As you can imagine, if extraordinary times hit, relying on branded ingredients becomes a real business management challenge. All this gray hair happened during the pandemic trying to manage 200 branded ingredients. You know how you go to the paint store and they have gray color options like early mist gray or willow gray? I call this pandemic gray. Let's all hope we don't have to go through that again in our lifetimes. So to quickly summarize the reasons to choose branded ingredients in a supplement, you have number one, they're backed by human research to determine benefits, dosage, and safety. Number two, they offer consistent quality in terms of potency and purity. And three, they help protect you from being a victim of fraud and counterfeit supplements. I hope you found this helpful and valuable. You can find out more about our products at naturecity.com. That's it for this week. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to see future episodes. You can listen to us on your favorite streaming service. We're on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. This is Pradelli, and I'll see you next week.